that's, I mean, if you really look at it from a standpoint like somebody like Trick, who we know is going to hell because of his blasphemous cartoons, then it's okay, and we accept that.
What the fuck is that?
For the non-Dutch speaking people, we will be adding subtitles to this. Yeah, you will be. You're doomed to add subtitles to a YouTube video. Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the We Are Doomed sessions. My name is Joshua Baumgarten, the lead poet, frontman from the band, the Irrational Library, here together with my colleague, saxophone player and guitarist from the band, and the Stad's dominee, city preacher, Mr. Tom de Haan. We wanted to take some time out today to address something that was popping up on social media since last week when we released the We Are Doomed album project artwork from Trick. And that was the topic of being doomed.
Mensen denken daarbij aan dat je gedoemd bent en het lot en misschien een straf van God en iets met hel ook vooral.
But isn't being doomed the old news then? Not good news, bad news, but old news?
Nee, ik denk het dus niet. Want dat wilde ik dus nazoeken. En toen ontdekte ik dat je dus in de Bijbel, in het Hebreeuws of in het Grieks, is er niet direct een woord wat echt doomed betekent. Of wat zo'n betekenis heeft. Het is altijd meer wat ik zou zeggen, gedoemd tot. Doomed to. Net zoals in lyrics. Doomed to fall in love. Ik zie gewoon in onze cultuur dat we heel snel een beetje bang worden van begrippen die religieus zouden kunnen klinken. En daar was ik benieuwd naar. Jij hebt de tekst geschreven, We Are Doomed. Was je toen met hele religieuze, goddelijke gedachten bezig?
No, more existential crisis. I am more busy with the day in, day out, quote-unquote, existential crisis than I am with the religious.
Well, to me, that's the same.
But that's what makes these sort of conversations interesting. So yeah, when I was writing this, it came with the idea of what we as human beings are sort of trapped in this cycle of repeating.
En waarom koos je het woord doomed?
Well, the first line, we are doomed to fall in love and to be alone. It's sort of, I think, that idea that we spend our lives as people trying to find love and acceptance, but at the same point we're always alone, and regardless of how many people love you, you will die alone.
So in Dutch, je hebt het bedoeld niet als wij zijn verdoemd, punt, maar je hebt het bedoeld als wij zijn gedoemd te.
In English, if you say so, you're doomed. You are doomed. That means you're going to hell.
Yes. Well, so.
But if you're doomed to.
Well, I checked that, and that's wrong. It doesn't mean you're going to hell. In biblical sense.
It means you're going to.
In popular culture, it means you're going to hell. It's but in biblical sense, there's more to say about that.
I thought it meant you're going to serve as a member of Congress.
It's a thing that you have to do that will be painful.
Yes. Part of American politics, or politics in general. Trying to say, how do you get away from being doomed?
Well, by acknowledging that you're doomed. En dat is voor mij de hele lijn die door die Bijbel heen zit. Dus het begint met best wel hard verdoemd zijn. Misschien wel iets met hel en ellende. Maar dan gaat het verder en dan gaat het erover dat ieder mens. Ik liep ooit jouw shop binnen, die Irrational Library. En daar stond op de deur.
We are open to both sinners and saints, yeah.
En religie is vaak dat de cultuur dat opvat als, dat zijn die mensen die ons fout vinden. Maar voor mij is de kern van die boodschap, is de les, en of dat nou humanistisch is of niet, maakt mij niet zoveel uit. Dat je zegt, er zijn wegen in mijzelf waar ik ben vastgelopen en andere pijn heb gedaan. En voor mijzelf betekent dat ik leef in een wereld waar ik op dit moment andere pijn doe. Dus met mijn smartphone doe ik slavenarbeid ergens in het Verre Oosten. En door hier te zitten en niks te doen is er nog steeds een vluchtelingenkamp in Moria waar mensen op inhumane manier behandeld worden. Er worden nog steeds mensen uitgeperst. Dus alleen al door hier te zitten voel ik een schuld.
Yeah, we're doomed to donate money to charity, but to wake up the next day and feel that we haven't done enough.
Precies, ja.
You know, and that's to me the sort of catch-22 of existence.
So that's why this album to me is like a public confession. It's not us as artists telling the world that they're wrong, but it's a public confession of share with us this experience that we're living in a doomed world, and let's shine light.
Often when I write text, it's either with the we or the you. And who I'm referring to is more or less myself. But it comes out, I don't like writing in the I am this, I do that, I find that boring.
Yeah.
But when I project and I say we are doomed, you and I, and then it's like speaking out into the void.
In de preken doe ik hetzelfde.
Yeah, but it's the same way, like, people talk to God and I talk to the universe. It's one and the same, to me.
Yes, except we don't have a book about the universe. Well, we have lots of books about but we also have our ancestors used to talk about God, and for every major point in their life, or looking back on their history, they translated it into a story with God in it, and God was like the eternal thing.
But yeah, I think it's a great thing that you and I took time out today on this Friday afternoon to come here in the midst of all Trik's artwork in the New Evita, in the middle of the expo that unfortunately due to the corona situation can't be at this point seen by more people, because I think people should have an opportunity to be engaged by this. And my point is also that if you're interested or feel like you need to question the album title or question Tom's involvement in the band, first, take 3.5 minutes out of your life, out of your busy schedule, and listen to the song. I believe the texts are on YouTube underneath the song. And just take a moment to absorb that, to think about it. And you'll see that it's not a dark thing. It talks about light. It talks about our existence, our trials and tribulations as people together. And then you can make your decision if you dig it or not, if it touches you or not, or you think it's
we are doomed to judge instantly. Yes.
But yeah, and that's a very what do you call it? Modern thing, possibly from these times that we are.
En niet verdiepen en niet de informatie lezen.
We're doomed to jump to conclusions.
Ja, totdat we op een punt komen waar je niet eens meer echte informatie zult kunnen vinden, omdat alle informatie gekleurd is of partijdig of propaganda is geworden.
It's just because something is in bold type doesn't mean it's true.
Precies.
Yeah, so read the fine print. They always say read the fine print. Read
Maar
the small
dat
print.
doen eigenlijk al deze afbeeldingen van Trik ook. Hè? Er zit altijd die dubbelheid zit erin van popcultuur en van framing en van inhoud.
Well, when things have a double meaning, it kind of gives it an extra layer, something extra to sink into.
Dat is kunst,
right?
toch? Ja, that's art. And yes, well, to me, religion is that too. I mean, it's the art of shaping a way of life and rituals that are meaningful.
Yeah, religion. I mean, people can get caught up with the. Religion has a way of overriding people, overwhelming people, and and sort of, or people have a way of using religion to override people.
Well, if we don't get involved with religion, then we leave it to the religious people. I don't know exactly what that means, and they do their thing with religion. My whole quest is to engage people in religion and make sure that we use it the right way, so that it doesn't become corrupt. Because there's a big risk that things become corrupt.
Here's the big question. Then what is the right way?
The right way is to start with accepting that you're a sinner, that your life is full of failures, that your life is not your own achievement, it's a gift you got. Nobody chooses this life.
But is sin and failure, is that not two different things?
No, sin literally means missing the point. Okay. So it's besides the point.
But by modern interpretation,
it became a divine judgment that says
sin is adultery, sin is stealing, sin is
course.
bad judgment.
Yeah.
Okay, but sin is like
is a thing that's in us all.
People don't easily, in my mind, people don't easily equate sin with failure. Failure is something you've made a mistake and you learn, and you need to learn from to grow as a person in life. Sin is something like you're bad. You're a bad person.
But that's framing. People, so the moment in the 60s we departed from religion, and in order to be free, the caricature came up that religion was the group of people that would condemn you as a sinner or whatever. But the whole lesson was that the sinner is in ourselves. So if we say this world is heavenly, I think that's a big mistake. I rather say this world is doomed. Let's make the best of it. Let's aim for the good. Let's repent. Let's convert. In a sense, this world needs change. That's the whole point.
A lot of, like a word like convert, it carry a lot of weight.
It's in a religious sense, yes, but I should say reclaim it. It's a word we need, because otherwise we will never change direction. You know,
convert, you would say, I need to convert my hard drive to be able to handle a higher load of blah, 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 downloading. But if you say, I need to convert you, or a person says that to me, then immediately everybody gets a bit freaked out.
Yes, but I mean, me as a human being, I need the space to be able to turn. Because otherwise I'm stuck.
Turn towards?
To have the freedom to turn around. That's the real meaning. It's the meaning that this world could be otherwise.
So are we now doomed to not allow other people to turn? It seems we cast judgment very easily, especially, say, social media, everybody, cancel culture by a form of you throwing out judgment about what somebody possibly did yesterday or 30 years ago.
We don't give people the room to turn. We don't trust people, or we trust them highly until they fall, because everybody has.
But why don't we give people a chance to sort of?
Because we're anxious and we're nervous and we have no faith. Faith in the sense of trust.
But that's an interesting topic of how, but that's what people read into what other people say. They latch themselves on to a soundbite, something that's possibly taken out of context from somebody speaking.
And it's polarized. I mean, we live in so a polarized time. For me, life is a tension. And if it's about me and the world, then there's this big question that already Chesterton wrote in around 1910. He said, can you hate this world enough to want to change it? To say, can you see that this world is wrong and want to change it? And at the same time, can you love it enough to believe it's worth the effort to change it?
And that's the Irrational Library. No, but that's a beautiful statement right there.
Yes.
And I think that's a noble statement that people it should be a sort of a verplichting, what's verplichting in English?
Yeah, obligation.
Obligation, thank you. An obligation that people have that on the mirror when they're brushing their teeth in the morning, that every person on this planet should have to read that in the morning.
It's not enough if we live in a world where everybody can survive. It's only enough if we make the best as a society. I mean, why not be generally kind to one another and give people space and have faith in people?
Since the election in America and Biden, his speech about unity, everybody unified. And the problem with unity is that there's always I in between you and me. Sometimes work it out, but you get the idea that in the middle of the word unity is the letter I. Yeah. And that the I, I am, I do this, I do that.
Individualism
is the problem between you and me. Everybody's focused on the I.
Well, there is something, and also me having a good feeling about myself, I have to get it from other people. Meaning I can't get it out of myself, I need it from the outside to come in. I need interaction, I need kind words, etc., etc. Or I need a tradition that tells me, or
I need to buy the Irrational Library's new album book.
Because it will make you a better person, yes.
It will. It actually will make you a better person.
No, but that's what individualism robbed us of. I mean, the individual can choose what kind of toothpaste you want.
But why is it? Yeah, why? When I grew up, or growing up, I always thought I want to be a little bit different. You know, I searched out different subcultures that celebrated people who stood out from the crowd, did things their own way, searched out life. But of course, within those corridors, you're only following more or less a path set by somebody else. So you're not really, none of us are really individuals.
The community is something else than convention. That's the problem. So people think that a community is like a traditional rules of convention and social pressure and do's and don'ts and all that stuff. But the real trick is, how can we be a community that allows people to flourish and be different, but still be connected. So we need something above our differences, and to me that's the word God, because God, in my point of view, is a promise that we're heading towards the good.
Well, folks, thank you for watching. I hope for those who made it through the whole thing, appreciate your time. We hope we answered some of the questions you may have had, or maybe not. If you still got any questions, please feel free to leave them down below there in the comments. And the like, the subscribe thing. I always wanted to say that. Bling, bling, bling. But again, thanks for tuning in. For anybody wanting to check out the album, you could find the Linktree link down below as well. Click on that. They'll bring you to a page where all the links having to do with the exposition, the music, the book, the album, the Irrational Library, and TRIK are there as well. So for the rest, take it easy, and we'll hope to see you soon.